few things I wanted to talk about in today's Get Ready With Me, but I already ranted about it on Snapchat. I think it's one of those things where I think it's really awkward when, like, you know when you, like, tell a joke to someone, and then you tell a joke to another friend, but the person you already told to is, like, next to you. So, for me, I feel like it's a really awkward situation, so me telling the story again, like I already did on Snapchat, I just feel awkward because I just ranted about it on Snapchat earlier, which was about the whole situation with the Malaysia thing. Well, Malaysia wasn't the issue. The Influence Asia Awards was the issue, and it wasn't about me losing in my category. It was more about, like, the organization of the event. But whatever. I was actually supposed to record this morning. It's like 12 at night now. I went to bed really late because I arrived really late back to Korea. I didn't sleep through my alarm. I woke up during my alarm, and then I went right back the fuck to sleep. So I ended up... I actually didn't wake up late. I woke up late to film this, so I ended up not having enough time to film this Get Ready With Me. I literally did, like, some 3-minute fucking makeup challenge, and then just, like, went straight to the radio station. But it kind of inspired the way I'm gonna apply it today. And it's basically, like, my sort of... my take on, like, the whole freckled look. Because I know some people... I posted a picture on this one on Instagram, and some people asked for a look. Or asked for a video on the look, and so this is basically gonna be it. But I noticed that I've been very, like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes with makeup, especially people like me that watch a lot of makeup tutorials, being very technical with, like, brushes and techniques and things. But I've been watching, like, this French girl lately, and she's, oh god, I'll link her channel below. Her videos are very short, but very, like, she's very French when it comes to makeup, so very natural, very, like, lots of there's gonna be a lot of fingering in this video, a lot of applying with fingers. So I was kind of inspired by that. So this is gonna be, I'm gonna try to make, see, I'm still fucking talking and I haven't even started. I'm trying to be very, like, simple with this look, because it's actually a very simple look. I don't really have to use that many brushes and things, and it's good to, you know, do these sorts of things every now and then, because I know a lot of people don't have, like, this many brushes. So for this one, I think I'm really just gonna use, like, one of my Skin Food wedge puffs and, like, maybe 2 brushes, I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna start with foundation. I bought this when I was in Malaysia, just because I've never had, because I'm using a 4K camera now, and I figured, I guess I'll try it, and it's cute, I guess. Because they're trying to avoid, like, heavy makeup, it's not gonna give you super full coverage, so I don't really mind. I'm only putting a little bit just to put, my skin's been getting much better, so I really don't need to put as much makeup as I usually do. So I'm just gonna, like, on my face. Just kidding, I'm sorry. But the thing I was ranting about on Snapchat was the fact that the entire event was so disorganized, and I apologize if you already saw that rant on Snapchat and you're hearing it again. I'm sorry. This is for the people that didn't hear about it, but it's only their second time doing this event, this Influence Asia thing, and, you know, so I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. I can only imagine how difficult it must be to organize an event of this scale, because they're literally flying tons of creators from different parts of Asia to one place, and they're booking the hotels, and they're hosting these sorts of events that, around Kuala Lumpur. So, you know, I was like, oh, you know, maybe, you know, they're just having a hard time. But, like, tragedy after tragedy really showed. They had, like, basically 2 years or so to, like, prepare for the next one, but it really almost seemed as though it was all slapped together within, like, a few weeks, if that makes sense. And another thing that I was really confused about was, like, the voting. Now, like I mentioned on Snapchat, I'm not trying to sound bitter about losing to, what was it? The guy that did win in my category, Joel. Hilarious guy. He's really funny, because I was talking to him, and Joel won, but me, Joel, and Blair were, like, in the same category, and Chung Ji-won was in the category, but he was hanging out with his other friends. So, you know, the 3 of us were hanging out, we were talking, and so I got to know them. Like, there wasn't, like, honestly, for me, I didn't take this whole award show that seriously, so I didn't really see them as, like, oh, competition. I saw them more as, like, Influence Asia, y'all, like, isn't this wild? But long story short, he definitely deserved to win. It's just that I was really confused. Oh, this is my kill cover. One thing I will say is, because we're doing a blush look, and this is just a suggestion for me, I would avoid using super brightening products. Oh my, way too fucking much. Like, on the center parts of the face, like having really light under eyes, because when I find that if I do that and apply blush, like, the start like unless you blend your blush all much higher, like close to your eye, there's gonna be like that lightness here and then suddenly your blush, and that looks really weird. It almost looks like, you know, when people go to the beach and they get like, they have the sunglasses and then they have like white eyes here and then like they're sunburned from around their sunglasses. It's gonna look like that. So if I would use a concealer that's like the same shade as your foundation under the eyes and just let the blush brighten the face. But anyway, basically, to have been nominated for personality, which is the category I was in, I thought it was supposed to be like, oh, you're just funny. Because that's really what I thought. I have a makeup channel, but really the people at Gush Cloud, the organizers, probably took one look at my makeup tutorials and was like, I mean, it's funny, I guess. So they put me in personality. But, as I've been told, in order to get nominated, you actually, it's a matter of like appearing in other people's videos. So that made more sense to me because some of the other nominees in my category, I don't really see on YouTube. They would show up in other people's videos every now and then, but lately they don't even, like, one, they either don't even live in Korea, and it's just that they appeared in people's videos in Korea before. So it's really fucking weird, and because I showed up in a lot of Jones videos, that's why I was qualified for this category. It made no fucking sense to me, to be honest. So that was the first sign to show me that this is, well, for at least for my category, that was really fucking shady. And I'm pretty sure that they didn't inform us of like, oh, you need to promote your like they didn't give us like a voting link or anything and be like, oh, you should promote this to your followers and tell them to vote for you. I don't think there was any of that. There was like no one informed us of like voting in for any type of thing. The only voting thing that any of the creators had to do was for the, what is it, the creator's choice or something. Basically, it's we're given a list of everyone from our country and we have to rank it basically 1 to like 34 or something. So it's almost like Mario Kart, where if you're in first place you get like 10 points, and as you get lower and lower you get less and less points, and whoever has the most points at the end, they'll win the award. The most ironic thing about it is that a lot of these YouTube channels, like, none of us watch each other. So I really think it just came down to like, well, first we'll vote for the people that we know or like, and then we'll choose maybe the people that we've heard of their names before, and then the rest will literally just go, we'll do the rest of the numbers. So I'm pretty sure that was the case with me. My name, Eduardo Avila, was like the most foreign out of all of the YouTube channels, and because my audience is not Korean and it's mostly foreigners, I'm sure most of the other, like nearly everyone else was a Korean creator or targeted to Korean audiences. So with that being said, it was just very, it was very like clunky way of voting. It was really awkward. And I know I keep saying awkward and that's such an overused word, but it's really fucking awkward. And I'm gonna do my brows real quick and I'm gonna make them more of like a light brown shade. It's not gonna match my hair, but I feel like it will go with the tones of the makeup. Probably not the thing you want to do, but it's just my preference. Just kidding, it's just what I want to do right now. So why am I complaining about all this, even though I say I don't really care about like losing or whatever? It kind of makes me feel like, even though I'm not 100% sure of like the actual voting system and how the winners were chosen, it makes me feel like how much effort you actually put into your channel doesn't even matter. Does that make sense? Because although I didn't win the award, and I said this on Snapchat, winning an Influence Asia award to me would honestly feel the same as like winning a Kids' Choice award. Like, to me, it's like, it's a very new award show, so I feel like it, in my opinion, it doesn't have that much of like, it would be nice to win, but it doesn't, like, it's not like winning an Oscar, you know what I mean? But you know what, I think it's great that this sort of award show is popping up because it gives people, you know, Asians, I guess, room to shine, I guess, in like the entertainment, digital entertainment industry, and gives them a platform. But with that being said, it just makes you feel like if you're gonna win something like this, it all just comes down to luck or popularity, because how much effort you put into your channel won't matter when it comes to winning something like winning an award from some award show like this, where it seems like, again, I'm not trying to sound bitter, I felt like, you know, I just feel like I've been working a lot to maybe have deserved it. Oh my god, I really don't want to sound like I'm bitter and salty about losing, because that's really not the case. I really don't care about winning it. It's just the whole thing is confusing to me. Like, what was the criteria to like win the award? Who was voting? Because I will say I would have been more or less surprised if Chung Ji-won had won, because I know he's from Video Village, and the channel that he's on is actually doing really, really well. They have a lot of subscribers and the view counts are very good, and he's actually quite funny. But you know, I don't fucking know. Anyway, I'm just gonna stop talking about that. there's the base and the brows. If I wasn't talking, I would be doing this much faster. In this morning, I literally did in less than 10 minutes. So I'm going to be continuing with liquid products for now. I'm going to be using these two Moonshot cream paints, and these are going to be kind of the focus of the look. I'm going to make a swatch video on all of it because these are such beautiful formulas. And I did use these before, but I did mention that they kind of come off easily, so I feel like they work much better as eyeshadow and on the cheeks because they last much longer. On the lips, they literally just wipe off, but on the cheeks when they're blended out and on the eyes, oh my god, they kind of stay much better. You can actually use one tone for the whole look, and I feel like that's a really pretty look, but to add variety, and because I happen to have all the colors, I'm just going to use two. One of them is more of like an orange corally shade. This one is called Orange Lily. It's M211. And of course, you don't have to use it. You can use whatever product you want. And although they're super pigmented, they do blend out really, really beautifully. So here, let me start out with like 3 dots here. Very like close to this area of the face, right next to the side of the nose. And I'm gonna blend that out. Oh, I love it. And taking it up the side of the nose. Oh, I fucking love it. I fucking love it. But this is what I was mentioning earlier. If you had used a really light concealer under the eyes, you have your blush here and then you would have that really light under eye, it would just look really, really weird. I've made that mistake many times, and I didn't learn until recently, so. And actually for the cheeks, I'm gonna use 2 colors. The other one's gonna be, it's gonna be a powder blush, and it's gonna be more of like a burnt red tone, so I'm gonna be kind of layering colors. Again, which you don't have to do, but I'm just being fucking extra. If you feel like you put too much, if you had used a sponge, you can use the side that has the foundation and go over to kind of soften it. I really want most of the color to be like right here. In my personal opinion, I feel like if you're gonna do freckles, it would look much better if you have color. Okay, now I think I fucking went over. Earlier, Aura looked at me and was like, I did this look in the morning, and Aura looked at me and was like, were you crying or something? It's like, bitch, no. It's called blush, bitch. But then I looked at myself in the mirror, I was like, oh god, I look like I'm fucking drunk. If you do freckles, I feel like it would look much better if you have color underneath. Because if you notice people with natural freckles, for the most part, they tend to have like a bit of color under the freckles, like a natural like blush or like a sort of burnt natural color under the skin. And I feel like if you just have freckles, it could end up looking like acne scarring or like dark spots because it's just like your natural skin tone and then like dots. So having an even complexion and then the blush and then the freckles, I feel like it would just all look much more natural. But of course it's makeup, do whatever the fuck you want. You don't have to, you're probably not going to be recreating this stuff. You're just watching this video to see me talk and complain about things as I usually do. Alright, and before I leave that color, I'm going to take some on the back of my hand and rub right in there and get some on my finger. Only a little bit. And then place it on my lids. And it's fucking so cute. You can really just go on like this. You really don't have to take it too seriously. Kind of just slap it on there and be done with it. And having used the same color on, you know, up here and here, and even if, and also if you do it on your lips, just having the same sort of color really makes everything sort of balanced and connects everything. I'm really considering getting fillers under my eye bags because I think at this point, like the depth of my under eye sockets has gotten much worse, and at this point the dark circles are really affecting the way I look. And they're, even if I'm wearing really good concealer, it just looks like I'm tired all the time. So I don't know, not sure. Okay, and then I'm going to just, again, you can finish your eye look with just this, but I'm gonna add a little bit of definition using this Hourglass eyeshadow palette that I also got in Sephora in Kuala Lumpur, which, by the way, the Sephora there is very different from the Sephora in other places. Even though the mall was huge and the Sephora was quite big, it didn't have a lot of the same brands, which I'm not surprised by because it is in a foreign country apart from America, so I can't expect every brand to be there. But I'm just going to be taking some of the shades I would use to like contour the sides of my eyes. Again, don't have to do this, but I'm doing it just to add some depth to my eyes because I really like when my eyes look really like, not sunken, but I like defining my eyes because as much as I hate myself, I don't hate myself, I really don't. As much as I pretend to self-loathe or self-deprecate, is that the word? I really do like the shape of my eyes. I'm gonna take the really deep shade and use it as sort of like an eyeliner sort of technique. Nothing new, as you guys know. Oh, isn't that? Oh, I love the way that looks. What I've come to realize though is that not everyone is going to have the same eye shape as me, so the look is going to be completely different on other people. I know, that's like the fun thing about makeup. I just like how the same look, like the techniques or like whatever, and same colors and products, not necessarily products, but colors, will look different on another person, even if it's done in like the same sort of way. I just think it's like the beauty of makeup. Oh. So when you're watching these makeup looks on YouTube, I don't think you should like strive to copy it exactly unless you happen to have the same features as the person in the video. I think it's more so about like the technique. All right, and then I'm gonna take some powder. This is the skin powder. I love it. And I've actually gotten into using this just really lightly all over the face rather than like using a shitload with a puff. I'll dip some into the cap and using a giant fluffy brush like this, kind of just, oh shit, that's way too fucking much. Just get it all over here. Tap off like nearly all of it because I noticed this powder is quite oil controlling. Cannot use too much or else it will actually end up drying my skin out. Okay. Just dust it over my face. This will help soften my skin or like the look of my skin, but it won't like make it look dried out or anything. Or you could actually leave it, if you saw, I actually really like the glow I had on my nose, so you can actually just skip that part. But I'm going to reintroduce that glow with actually no, let me go with my second blush first. This is a blush I got when I was in America. This is the number 7 powder blusher in Plum Violet. It's not violet, it's more like it's literally just red. But I'm gonna take it on a stippling brush like this. Really pack it on there. Not only tap off the excess, but also like really rub off like nearly all the product. Oh, do you see how fucking pigmented that shit is? And then kind of, well, again, like more like right here, kind of just stipple it on. And this will add dimension to the blush. You probably won't notice it on camera at all, but I feel like in person it really adds a sort of like extraness to the look. Oh, and also feel free to put mascara on because the eye look is so simple. I feel like a coat of black mascara will look really, really pretty. But for freckles, I've tried a few things, and what I've come down to liking is just using a felt tip eyebrow pencil. Now I'm suggesting a felt tip eyebrow pencil rather than a felt tip eyeliner because eyebrow markers tend to be less pigmented than eyeliners. And they're more of like a watery kind of, like almost like a watercolor kind of pigment in that they're more translucent, so it looks more natural. And also because of like the really sharp tip, you can get varying like degrees of like freckles, like the sizes. So you can use the very tip, the very point to get really small ones, and then push a little bit harder to get more of like a defined freckle. But this one is in the color, this is from MAC. It's the Penultimate Brow Marker in, what color is this? I have no idea what color this is. When I was buying this, I was like, oh, is there anything I can use to create fake freckles? And he gave me this one along with an actual brow pencil, and he said a combination of the two different colors would really give the look of natural freckles. Pencil was just too hard to work with because I had to like put the pencil on my skin and like twist the pencil because it's an eyebrow pencil. It's one of the ones that has a really hard formula, so it's hard to get the pigment on the skin without actually like rubbing the pencil into the skin. And I don't want to do that because then you run the risk of like making a line on the skin or like too big of a circle, and it just won't look like a freckle. So I feel like just using a felt tip eyebrow marker pen, whatever, the pigment just comes right out of the tip. Also make sure you're getting the really, really tiny kinds of freckles because sometimes people, probably doing that now, they all end up looking like slightly larger ones, so they don't look as realistic. You might want to consider as well using a pore filling primer because if your pores are enlarged, those can mix in with like the fake freckles that you're making, and that might not end up looking as good as you want it to. In retrospect, though, I probably shouldn't be doing this sort of look because I have scarring on my skin, so it can translate into what looks like scars on the skin. You know what? I don't fucking know. I'm gonna do it anyway. And to get back to, I should have done this before I did my fucking freckles. I should have highlighted. I'm gonna use Soft and Gentle from MAC because I noticed that this has, it's not super white. It has almost like a golden undertone to it, so it's gonna work well with the color of the blush. Oh my god, now we're going over like the number of brushes I said what I would use. You could actually just apply this with your fingers. So again, don't worry too much about brushes for this look. is taking much longer than I thought it would, but I promise, if you're not talking to a camera like I am, then it's gonna take you much less time. And now finally, to finish it off, I'm gonna go into the lips, and I'm gonna use again another cream paint, but this one is in Hey Rosa. This swatch video though, it's all the colors, like a lot of the colors look so similar. I really don't see like the point in having that many colors. But you know what? I don't know. It's like nude rusty rose. And just like my eyeshadow, I'm gonna put a lot of it on my finger so I can just kind of get a certain concentration, like a really thin layer on the lips. If you find that your lips are really pigmented, maybe think about adding a dab of concealer on your lips maybe. That's so fucking pretty. God, I ended up not talking about a lot of stuff during. I actually had a lot of things I wanted to talk about, but I ended up forgetting because I was so into doing the makeup. But I was also trying to focus on doing it really quickly. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If there's anything that you're interested in, they'll be down below in the info bar. And with that, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.